I think we don't have to do a roll call vote on that, do we? All right, very good. Now, do we have to wait till 9:30 to do this?
We do.
Okay, well, that's fine. Want to give us a preview, Barney?
It'll be brief as normal.
Okay, well,
You
we,
can just sneak in here now. I mean, there's no.
yeah, sure, you can go ahead, start away.
We've had a continuing problem with our custodian bank in getting the amortizations of the local bonded, you know, we lend money locally for various projects to boost economic activity in Warren County. We keep those bonds in a separate portfolio with US Bank, and they've had trouble keeping track of the proper, because those bonds pay down principal and amortize, everything else that we own just pays principal at maturity. They have trouble keeping track of that. So our end of year report to the state on our bond portfolio overstates what we have by $50,000 because they didn't write down 2 principal pay downs in the report. It'll be corrected for the end of January, but that, you know, we were able to discover that. We had those all in one account. The US Bank had trouble keeping track of them, and we had trouble finding where they were messing up, and so we separated all our local bonds out into a separate account with them, which now totals about, our current balance there is about $8 million in those special issues, and they still can't keep track of them decently. So it's one of these ongoing irritations every December when there are pay downs on those bonds to get them posted correctly. So
do you have to consider a different custodial bank?
there are only 1 or 2 others in the state that make any sense. It'd be Fifth Third or Huntington, and it's an irritation. It's not a major problem. It's not like there's money actually lost or anything. It's really just an accounting.
Just makes your reporting of it in a timely way.
And you know, it requires extra work to make sure that they've done it correctly. And it's irritating that we pay them to take care of these things and then they can't take care of them correctly. So it's mostly just an irritation factor. The portfolio yield continues to gradually increase as we have maturities roll off and we're able to reinvest them. We will be seeing that change somewhat this year, given that we're making some distributions really out of the portfolio, really for the first time since I came on board with the money that that the commissioners have decided to put into the tennis complex, but it continues to move slowly higher. Yesterday, Meter's monthly report on markets came out, and their main recommendation is that now seems to be a good time to lock in longer rates. So I think our average portfolio maturity will begin to extend a bit because we'll go out. 5-year Treasury rates now are the highest that they've been in 20 years.
Wow.
And so this is when you have that kind of an opportunity and you expect rates to go lower because the Fed has said they're going to cut rates, this becomes a time that we need to take advantage of those and lock those rates in so that we get a good rate for the next 5 years.
What kind of rate are we talking about?
4.3.
Okay.
When you stop and think, that's the best that for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Sounds sick, but I mean, I remember my first home mortgage was 14%, and that was a family deal where I got a real discount. The rates have been terrible. We watched them go back up, but I don't know how much further they're going to go. Certainly, the highest in 20 years does seem like an appropriate time to begin to put a little more money there than we have in the past.
Okay. Anything else?
That's really all I have. Nothing else is changing.
Very good.
And just let you know, don't worry about Brighton. He wasn't gonna be here no matter what. He's not feeling well today. So no worries
Okay.
about him.
Okay, I just want to make sure we didn't
No.
entirely forget him.
Well, you can Brexit now, okay? All righty.
They want to redo that again. I mean, they're talking about redoing that.
I know, yeah, really. All righty.
It's crazy. Do you have anything else for me?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, so now our next on the agenda is a public hearing that is continued for the, I don't know what time.
We're gonna open it and continue it, right? This is a new one.
Okay, so how do we open the hearing? Do we just announce it?
Yes.
Okay, we are opening the public hearing on the continuation to consider rezoning application of Immobilitech
Yes.
USA to rezone approximately 10 acres from community commercial business zone B2 to light industrial manufacturing zone. And we've been asked to continue, is that correct?
Yes, we received a letter from the representative for the applicant, and they've requested a continuation of the public hearing to allow additional time for discussion between the applicant and the representative.
Do we need to set a new date?
When they forwarded that to me, they didn't have a new date on there, so I think we'll have to work with the company and the representative to figure out what works for them. Or, I think there's a couple options. One may be an option where they'll come back to us for a date for continuation, or there may be an option where they will pull this zoning request away from the commissioners.
So it's a continuation to an indeterminate date.
Correct.
Do we have to make a motion to that effect?
We do, we have a resolution continuing public hearing for the rezoning application of Immobilitech USA, case number 202404, to rezone approximately 10.0509 acres from community commercial business zone B2 to light industrial manufacturing zone I1 in Franklin Township.
So moved?
Second, and call the roll on that.
Mr. Grossman?
Yes?
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else to come before the body?
I have nothing further.
Okay, anything from the audience? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
And I say yes. Thank you. Okay.
6 minutes, that's not bad.